Happy Tuesday, May 26th, 2020. Today is Think Outside the Box Tuesday. This is our shape. It is not a heart. So see what you can create with this shape that is not a heart. And just a reminder, you need to use 6 colors or more. You can always do more, but you can't do less. You also need to write one sentence explaining the picture. Alright, so I know that it's getting so nice outside, and I'm noticing that less and less people are viewing my YouTube videos because I hope that they're playing outside. So I want to share this menu with you so you can do some things that are more things that you can do outside or things that you can do with your family. So let me share a couple with you, and then I'll post it on my dojo page so you can work on them at your leisure. So one of them is write a letter to an elderly relative or friend. So maybe you want to mail your grandma or grandpa or aunt or uncle a letter. They would love to get that. Find an object from around the house, beginning with every letter of the alphabet. Help your parent or family member mow the lawn. Be in charge of your household recycling. Bake a cake using a cookbook or online recipe. Follow each step and measurement carefully. Turn off the lights, grab a flashlight, and read in the dark. Design your dream bedroom. Draw your design. Make a video reading your favorite picture book. Share it with someone who would enjoy it. That's me. I would enjoy it. Get outside. Build a fort, climb a tree, jump on the trampoline, kick a ball around, have fun. Have a paper airplane challenge with your family. Whose plane can fly best? Help your parent or family member plan the grocery list for the week. Hide 5 toys around your house. Create a scavenger hunt with clues for someone to find them. So I want you to choose one of those activities a day and see if you can get 4 done by Friday. Alright, we have new snap words this week. When I say it, you say it. Have, in, each, words, as, we. Alright, so it's not Monday, but it's our first day of the week. So you are doing your rainbow writing. You're going to write each of those words 3 times. And we are starting a new unit. So you should have the Kitty workbook for Unit 6, and the reader looks like this. So if you don't have that already, go ahead and pause my video so you can get the reader that's called Grace and the Kitty workbook that says Unit 6 on the top. So we're going to talk about something today called hard C and soft C. Did you ever notice how the letter C makes 2 different sounds? Sometimes it sounds like k, like cat. That sounds like K to me, but it's a hard C. Another example of a hard C is cop, op. Another example is cup, up. Do you notice how the C sounds like a K instead? Now, a soft C sounds like cent, a cent. 1 cent is a penny. Another example is pencil, even though that C is in the middle of the word, pencil. It's a C, but it sounds like an S. Another example is cell, and that's the kind of cell like in jail or in your body. Not sell like I pay someone money and sell them something. All right, so go to page 2.1 or 2 1/10 in your Kitty workbook, and we're going to practice sorting the hard C and soft C. So hard C sounds like a K. Soft C sounds like a S. All right, let's look at the first one. If you need more time, go ahead and pause my video. All right, the first sentence says, she is a good dancer. The C is in the middle of the word, dancer. Does that sound like a K or a S? It sounds like a S. Good. Oops. They already gave that example for us. So you're going to print dancer in the column that says S as in scent. So it sounds like a S, not a K. Okay, look at number 2. It's time to get in the car. K-R, car. Does that sound like a K or a S? It sounds like a K sound. Good. So we're going to write car in that first column. It sounds like a hard C. K. Good. Look at number 3. Track along as I read. That kite you have is so cool. 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 Does that sound like a hard C or a soft C? Hard C. Good job. Cool goes in the first column like car and cat and cop. Great job. Oops, too excited. Sorry. Question 4 says, set it down in the center of the room. The center of the room. Do you hear a hard C or a soft C? Center sounds like a soft C. It goes in the second column. Great job. Look at my mom over here cheering us on. All right, number 5. For lunch, we had crabs. 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 Is that a hard C or a soft C? Hard C, because it sounds like a K sound. Crabs is in our first column. Crabs. Good job. Number 6. He gave me a lot of choices. Now there's 2 C's in the word choices. We're looking at the second C because we know the CH blends together to say ch. So he gave me a lot of choices. You hear a hard C or a soft C? Choices. Soft C, very good. So that goes in my second column. And the last one is, look up there. See that big cloud? Cloud. Does that sound like a hard C or a soft C? Cloud. Cloud. It's a hard C, very good. Okay, so this is what your chart should look like. And we'll keep practicing hard C's and soft C's. All right, so go ahead and pull out your new reader. It's called Grace. And notice in the word Grace. Ooh, I noticed 2 things that we know all about. One is the magic E. Magic E comes back and makes Grace say its own name, makes the A say its own name. I also noticed the C. Is that a hard C or a soft C? Grace. Yeah, it's a soft C. Very good. All right, so we are going to turn to page 2 and 3, and I want you to track along as I read our first story in Grace. While you're listening, I want you to notice, do you think the story is fiction, not real, or nonfiction, real? Grace Spencer's, do you notice another C? Spencer, hard C or soft C? Very good, soft C. Grace Spencer's dad has a farm. Her dad is a farmer out in the Midwest, where the land is flat and the soil is rich. In the spring, Mr. Spencer plants corn. Corn. Hard C or soft C? Hard C, good job. Next to the farmhouse. All summer long, he takes care of the corn. I heard another one. By the end of the summer, the corn is ripe. Then Mr. Spencer harvests it and sells it. That is how he makes a living. That means how he makes money. Mr. Spencer has a garden too. In his garden, he plants eggplants, beets, sprouts, and peppers. Mr. Spencer has had some problems with rabbits. They crawl under the fence, hop into his garden, and munch on his plants. When Mr. Spencer sees the rabbits in his garden, he gets mad as a hornet. He shakes his fist and shouts at the rabbits. Grace and her sister Jill like the rabbits. Grace says they are cute. She tells her dad to be nice and let the rabbits be. But Mr. Spencer can't stand those rabbits. And the Spencers need the plants in the garden to feed them in the winter. Last summer, Mr. Spencer got a dog to force the rabbits out of his garden. The dog's name is Pepper. He is a black dog. He sleeps out in the barn. When Pepper came to the farm, he gave the rabbits quite a scare. They were in the garden munching on sprouts. Then Pepper came charging out into the yard, barking. The rabbits took off. They raced back into their hole as fast as they could. Pepper ran to the rabbit hole and went in as far as he could. He started digging with his paws, but it was no use. It was a deep hole and he could not get down to where the rabbits were. Mr. Spencer was sitting in the living room at the time. He could tell what Pepper was up to. He smiled. "Good dog," he said. "Good dog. I bet those rabbits will munch on sprouts somewhere else next time." Ooh. So, in your journal, I want you to write about your favorite part of our first story of Mr. Spencer and the rabbits. So I want you to start with, my favorite part was, and that looks like this. My favorite part was, and then I want you to write at least 5 words about your favorite part of that story. And then at the bottom, I want you to illustrate your favorite part of the story. We're not done with this story quite yet, but we're going to move on to math. If you need some extra time to write that, please pause my video now. Okay, so into math, we are going to do some review because I was thinking this might not be fresh in your brain. We are going to write our doubles facts starting with 0 plus 0. So moms and dads, we did this every day in our classroom, so your student should be able to zip through this no problem. So we want to start with 0 plus 0 equals 0. Good job. And I want you to go the whole way to 10. You can always do more, but you can't do less. So you're going to go 0 plus 0, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, etc. Go ahead and pause my video right now so you can work on that. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I love doubles facts because the sums or answers are all products of 2. It's like I'm skip counting by 2s. So here's another activity that you can do outside. I want you to get a bouncy ball, a basketball or a kickball, something that will bounce or you can toss. And with an older sibling or a family member, I want you to say a multiple of 2, like 2, and then pass it, and that person is going to say 4. Then they're going to pass it back to you, and you're going to say 6, and then you're going to pass it back to them, and they're going to say 8. And you can keep going until you get to 20 or more. So there's an activity that you can work on outside. And if you had a hard time writing your doubles facts, that's just because we haven't practiced in a long time. So this is something that you can keep practicing. All right. We are going to talk about graphing today, and we're going to talk about it all week. I wish we were together for this because this is a really fun thing to do in the classroom. This is called a pictograph. What is it called? A pictograph. Very good. And this type of graph is telling you information using pictures. Now, when I see a graph, I should see at the top a title. What do I see? A title. Very good. And then the sides, these are called an axis. Those are labeled for what they are representing. So the bottom axis is called the type of pet. So this section is talking about the type of pet. And you can see we have a dog, a cat, a fish, and this is a snake, but I want it to represent any other pet. So if you're like Farmer Spencer and you have rabbits as a pet, then you're in the other category. All right, and now this axis is the number of pets. So the bottom is the category of pets. The side is the number of pets. And the most important thing of a pictograph is the key. What is it? The key. Very good. So you can see at the bottom, the key is one dot is the same as one student. So let's look at the dog category. How many students have a dog? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. 3 students have dogs or a dog. Let's see how many cats our class has. Let's count together. 1, 2. There are 2 cat pets in our classroom. Let's see how many people have fish. So I'm looking at my category of fish and then the number of students that have that. Let's count together. 1. 1 person in our class has a fish. And now let's look at the other category. So maybe they have a snake, maybe they have an iguana, maybe they have a pet worm. How many people have the other pet? Just 1. Very good. Excellent. So ask yourself this question. Which pet has the most? Which of the pets do we have the most of in our classroom? The most is the dog. Very good. Let me ask you another question, and this should remind you of our weather graph that we do in the morning every day. How many students have a cat and fish? How many students have a cat and fish? So that means we have to combine the cat and fish. Let's add together. 1, 2, 3. So 3 of our kids have either a cat or a fish. How many students in all? How many students in all? This means a total. How many students voted in all? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 students in this class. All right, so the most important thing I want you to remember is in a pictograph, you have to look at the key, and that tells you how many the picture is equal to. So we'll keep working on this together. I'm going to send you lots of activities, games, and videos that you can do that talk about the pictograph. All right, happy Tuesday. I can't wait to see your Think Outside the Box Tuesdays, and I'll see you on Wednesday.